Greetings and welcome to Unispirical Love, Spirituality in a Modern World. I'm trying to get into a new habit, and this is always good to get into a good habit. You must learn to change problems to challenges to grow in personal growth each and every day. It is a challenge to remember. After cancer treatments, a challenge to remember, what is my name? What am I doing today? It's a challenge, just like the memories got dissected and it has to come back. Come back. And so it takes time for the memory to come back. That's just the lovely world of what you get, side effects from cancer treatments, radiation and chemo. Now, it comes back, it just takes time. Today for this is July 16, 2023. Purpose in of life. Now this morning I typed this on my HP and I video on my MacBook. It's a long story, but it's due to medical conditions, health conditions, because of the cancer treatments is why now I use this. And let me tell you, everything is dualistic nature. Everyone has their motif of friend or foe. Now, for example, all the cars and trucks I've driven in my life, Chevys have always given me a hard time. So Chevy is foe. Ford's friend. Computers, my HP, friend. Mac, foe. So everything is categorized into friend or foe. Keep this in mind. It will help you make decisions when you're trying to figure out, is this a good thing or a bad thing in life, right? Right. So it's not bad. No, never. Those are all negatives. You need to, I prefer this over that sort of way, perception of understanding. And then what you give out, you get more back. That's called karma. It's the boomerang effect. So I prefer this over that. Friend or foe. Catching on? All right. Now, the question that everyone asks in their own life at one time or another is, why am I here? You must first understand the background, aka the root of how it all happened, to be in a different energy than anyone else in existence in this day and time. To me, it's pretty self-explanatory, easy peasy to answer. It is easy for many simply because I was born with many of God's gifts. The same as when you learn a skill for your trade, aka job. You have a gift that you are giving to yourself to learn that job. To do this by either going to school or learning on the job for your training. My training began many lifetimes ago, in other lifetimes, past lives. I'm an HEB, highly enlightened being that was blessed with many of God's gifts. With many years of training, I honed in on my birth skills because it is my birthright to learn purpose in of life. Birth skills are your natural talents. Yeah, I have to. I've learned that my one sentence is 3 paragraphs for most, so I have to go into define. So I have to be a dictionary, a thesaurus, an encyclopedia for people. One word is 1 paragraph to most human beings. So I've learned that I have to be a dictionary, encyclopedia, thesaurus when I explain things. It took 10 years of testing in college of what I would be good at in a certain career, what my personality would be good with a certain career, what my body part would be used for certain careers, such as in accounting, you use 90% of your hands. for typing, plus many more testing. In my home life, I was, and still am, constantly creating because I was born to do this. I have 25 years of college, 6 college degrees, and 16 certificates and diplomas. I'm a doctor in Trilogy. That means I have 2 doctor degrees and working on my 3rd doctor degree. When I was 17 years old, I thought I wanted to travel for a living. And how would I go about this? That would be traveling by ship as a captain, or an airplane as a pilot, or a truck driver. I had never gone to high school because I didn't believe in government education. It was wrong, but I didn't know why until many years later. When I was 18 years old, I started my quest for education through secular education. Secular education is government education. At the age of 18 years, I was working full-time, college part-time, married full-time, and raising my daughter full-time. In my 30s, I went into the military part-time, while also still working full-time, college part-time, married full-time, and now raising my 2 children full-time. My plate is pretty full in my 30s. However, I was still on my quest of what I wanted to be when I grew up. What type of career was suited for me? That was my mission in life. In order to bring the life that my children needed, I must create and have an established career. In my 30s, I decided to become a doctor, but it would not be a traditional doctor because that would be boring to me. There's many things in life that bore me to death. I wanted to become a non-traditional doctor to help my mother. She was born with a lot of medical conditions. I thought if I became a doctor, I could help her. She was born with a lot of medical conditions. This gave me a purpose with 10 years of search about a career. I would then create my career through creating my own educational plan. Basically, I gave myself permission to create. When I turned 18 years old, I began my career in education. I got my GED, high school diploma, AA degree, BS degree, MS degree, DDIV degree, Doctor of Divinity degree, and a PhD degree. Then I began many avenues of pursuing certifications to the end result of 16 certifications and diplomas. Through this, I experienced study, research, documented through theories and concepts into food nutrition for 35 years and human behavioral patterns for 35 years. But by this time, I was 53 years old, and I had received 3 different types of cancers in my life. Plus, my children had grown up, and I was divorced. Let me just tell you, I love being divorced. Almost 20 years of marriage, I love being divorced. I was born an only child, and to me, human beings get in the way of my pursuit of what I'm working on. Just like I'm at work. I'm working. Don't bother me. Get out of my life. Get into your own, and let me do what I need to do. That's all there is to it. That's why I wanted a government job, so I could do the things I needed to do in life. And that's the way it is, and then it is. And it will always be this way. That's a fact, plain and simple. Now, I did all this because I was looking for something specific. Now, my pursuit of education helped create life skills. And eventually I'll figure out how to do this stuff on the MacBook. But for now, we like the tried and true. HP. All the way. Alright, now we got my pursuit of education helped me create life skills and life knowledge. Education is secular education, government education, and that is brainwashing within the human brain in 3D, third dimension. Knowledge is in the mind. That is knowledge brought forth from thousands of years ago, in the past, and thousands of years into the future, to this point in time. My advisor in college wrote me a letter when she gave me my PhD degree. She said, and I quote, "As usual, your work defies categorizing as it is totally out-of-the-box thinking from a being whose mind is a few millennia beyond most of us earthlings. A millennia is 1,000 years, and I have a few of those. I love the concepts, and you share some very unique perceptions and express some common perceptions in a radically unique way. In essence, your paper takes us on a journey into the fifth dimension, as perceived through your direct experience of one reality, one consciousness, and one heart." And those were in caps. Thank you for sharing your voice and perception, for being true to your vision and your spirit, and for telling the truth as you understand it. The journey continues. Boundless, blissful blessings in your life. It has been a wonderful experience to witness your work. After reading this letter, I cried because it was the most beautiful thing anyone had ever said to me. This was confirmation that I needed for all my hard work. Now, I took my papers. Why put them on the shelf and collect dust? I took my papers, my dissertations, and for my PhD and my master's and all that, and I put it into book form, and I self-published my book back in 2013, I think. The Infinity of Infinite Self. Now, the cover is different. I think it has green leaves or something. It's on Amazon. And it is the 3 papers. It is Love or Fear, Knowledge or Intellect, and The Seed of Inner Self. All 3 is Trilogy. Keep this in mind. This is a number sequence on the timeline. Everything is numbers. Everything is a mathematical equation. I'm giving you bits and pieces, particles that are part of the whole. It is a mathematical equation from 5D, 5th dimension. Now, the hard work was my pursuit in education since the day I was born. I was a very shy girl all my life until the day I spoke on paper through this paper. Everything I had accumulated, I had now shared. This confirmation, along with many other confirmations from human beings, such as I've been told I teach like Jesus Christ, plus different aura pictures I had gotten over the years, I was told I am a healer. Now, I have gotten 5, 6 aura pictures in my life. In 2006, I got one, and it was violet. Violet is the 8th chakra. It is the spirit realm. Violet is not often seen in anyone, but belongs to those who are unusually fulfilled and enlightened. Indicates peace with the world and very strong understanding and integration of life's process. It is believed these people with violet in their auras are reincarnated souls whose karma is on the plus side and are there to help others in the negative, which is what I said earlier. So you get different colors, and the different colors are the aura, which is the emotional body of being. It travels through the portals, which are your chakras, and you have 28 chakras. 2 plus 8 in numerology. 2 plus 8 equals 1, and 1 is self. So my very last one, let's see, what year is this? 2016. The person, usually the people that take the picture, she said, all your chakras are open. Have you ever thought about being a healer? So I keep getting confirmation from this and other things that other people say throughout my life. It's a lot of hard work. I'm doing it. Now, by this time, when I was in my 50s, and I realized that I did accomplish being a pilot, but through being a metaphysician, alternative doctor. My goal is to be a world-traveling metaphysician. Now, I also became a truck driver when I turned 40 years old, and now I'm in my 60s. I'm a professional landscaper of 30 years. I drive a 550 10-cylinder dump truck that pulls an 18,000-pound trailer that carries my gang mower. There are 4 of us gang mowers in the district. I am the first female gang mower in the history of the district that has been around for 50 years. I am the only female in operations that works in the field. A gang mower is a heavy equipment. It is a 15-foot wingspan, 4-wheel drive, 11 blades, and hydraulics. It is heavy equipment. I also have a CDL, that is a commercial driver's license, a license, and I have a license to spray herbicides at the schools for weeds. So that's one of my beginning one when I said I have certifications. That's one of them. I went from 13 years working in professional accounting jobs. I felt my soul constantly dying. I then became a professional landscaper of 30 years, and my soul was very happy being connected to all is one, and one is all. For my third career in this life, I am in pursuit of purpose, creating my third career to be a world-traveling metaphysician. This is what I was recreated, rebirthed, and reincarnated to do in this lifetime in 3D third dimension. I am learning to decipher the coded messages from 5D fifth dimension in mind, that is knowledge, to 3D third dimension in brain, that is education. And that's why my second paper was knowledge or intellect. And the radiation cancer treatments, side effects for 20 years. I've completed 2 years. My throat, a delayed reaction the last year and a half. Yeah, it's the last few months. I'm just not getting, my throat is falling apart and it's inflamed. So I have a hard time swallowing my food, and I choke on my food and whatnot. So I have dry mouth, so I have to constantly drink water. And from time to time, I lick my lips, so I have to put chapstick on because it dries up. It's not the fact of talking, it's the fact of the side effect from the radiation. As an alternative doctor that was recreated, rebirthed, and reincarnated in 3D third dimension, I was blessed with all of God's gifts. My purpose in this lifetime is to bring awareness to beings on earth. I was blessed with many spiritual gifts in this lifetime, and communicate, and the spirit realm communicates with me every minute of my life, so that I can keep moving from life path to soul path, as this is my destiny. Sometimes it gets overwhelming when you're getting these coded messages constantly. I am human. I have to tell my spirit realm sometimes, dude, I'm human. Let me take a rest. I need a break. I'm human. I must sleep. I must eat. I must work. Okay, so slow your roll and chill out and let me have some break time. And then I relax enough, and all of a sudden it comes seeping back in. Cool. Okay. So finally you're like, it's a child that needs undivided attention, and as a mom, you stop and give it undivided attention. Okay, what's the scoop? Tell me what's going on. You wait and let it do its thing, and then you go do what you need to do. And that's how it works. Now, I keep moving from life path to soul path, as this is my destiny. Life path is fate. Fate is someone else's destiny. Fate is what everyone else says, does, and thinks. And that is brainwashing in 3D third dimension. This is your life path in 3D third dimension of the karmic particles that create part of the whole. The particles are the details. The part is the path traveled to get to the whole. The whole is the whole balanced being, traveling from your life path into 5D fifth dimension. Your travels take you through portals. Your whole being creates this in infinity. It is all a mathematical creation that you created. Center of infinity is 0, and you are 0 in center point of infinity. Excuse me. I got a piece of throat caught in my throat that's disintegrating me in my throat. So every time I swallow, I have to get around that. And later I have to go and regurgitate that so it comes out. And then I put this tissue that's falling apart, I put it in foil and put it in a bag in my freezer to take to my doctor when I go to the hospital again, because I have to go every 6 months. I have 25 doctors at the cancer center. Yeah, it was a really big deal having nasopharynx cancer. Now, I see with a blessed gift of third eye chakra, as all my chakras are open. A human has 28 chakras, 7 chakras in each body of being. The mental body has 7 chakras, the physical body has 7 chakras, the emotional body has 7 chakras, the spiritual body has 7 chakras. That equals 28 in numerology equals 1. You are 0. Energy is 1. The second you think, you now have created energy. You have created an action. So action means 1. Self lives in dualistic nature. That's 2. 0 plus 1 plus 2, and the saga continues. You create the time sequence on the timeline. Karma is the residuals on the ripple effects that you have created. Each ripple effect is a number, such as 1 plus 2 equals 3. 1, knowing what you want. 2 is path travel to get what you want. 3 is end result. Knowing what you want comes from 5D fifth dimension. Path travel is traveling through the portals from time, space, mass, matter. 3D third dimension is time, space, mass, matter. 3 is the end result of what you have recreated, rebirthed, and reincarnated, and that is karma. Your point in this lifetime is to create. Your purpose is to create the being that you were meant to become in this lifetime. If you continue on life path, you are then destined to relive your love level in continual perpetualization. When you are perpetual, means never ending or changing. Life's ups and downs that you create in your karma. When traveling through the portals is the moment of change, to change from life path to soul path. The soul is the teacher to the spirit, that is the student. The spirit is the teacher to the human, that is the student. That is the student. All beings on earth are spiritual beings that have come to earth to have an experience, to have a human experience. There are 3 different love levels to learn and teach self in each lifetime. My progress continues as I learn to define my purpose. My travels take me through the quadratic equations in quantum mechanics and quantum physics. The mathematical equations in from 5D fifth dimension equations and into 3D third dimension, which is pursuit of knowledge. I am transmutational, interstellar, interdimensional being from 5D fifth dimension. A transmutational means the action of changing or the state of being changed into another form. Interstellar being means humans existing millennia in the future that poses unfathomable advanced technology and have evolved to the point of existing outside of the 4 known dimensions of time and space. Interdimensional beings, entity that can time travel and move out of the physical body into a spiritual one, or a being that exists in another plane in the universe or in another universe. Now, when I wrote this book, it was 2012. When I did my paper, it was 2013. When I did my paper, it was 2012. I'd never heard of interstellar, interdimensional, none of this stuff. But yeah, it's part of my being. So my advisor wrote that my mind is a few millennia beyond most earthlings. Well, because I was born that way. And I had to Google these words today. What does this mean? What does this mean? I do not know. I just know what I know. And that's why I do what I do. And that's why the more I learn about me, the more I can help others, which in turn helps humanity. And that's what it's all about. Now, each and every day of my life, in this lifetime, I am blessed with many guides from the spirit realm that sends me coded messages from the universe. I must then learn how to translate these messages. The messages are coded messages. Same as if you walked into a pyramid or a cave and saw pictographs and chicken scratch. Chicken scratch is the language of that culture. To me, it just looks like a bunch of chicken scratch, like somebody stuck chicken claws on the wall, you know. Make it simple. Keep it simple, right? And that is my chimes. You know, you hang them out, wind chimes, yeah. So it's hanging in here because we get pretty windy outside sometimes, and that could be nerve-wracking. All that wind chiming going on. Now, chicken scratch is the language of that culture. I would have to decipher the pictures and the language. These are codes into their culture. Each moment in time, I am sent the coded messages from the higher-ups. The higher-ups are the spirit realm. After a doctor gets out of college, their being then they start their residency in hospital settings. When they finish residency, they either work in a hospital setting or open their own business. My residency is life in 3D third dimension. My third career in 3D third dimension is to have my own business and my private practice as a world traveling metaphysician. Now, when I thought this, I was like in my 20s to be a world traveling metaphysician. I didn't do internet and all that stuff. How would I do all this traveling as a human being? Physically, you got to get on a plane or a boat or whatever, right? No. Now we have internet, and I can then speak on a platform to send out the coded messages I received to the coded messages to Earthlings on Earth in 3D third dimension. This is how I am a world traveling metaphysician. I think it takes many years to manifest. The universe always gives you what you want, but not how you want it, because you didn't know what you wanted in the first place. You must be specific in what you wanted. This is what I wanted. This is what I was going to do. You send that information to the universe, let it do what it needs to do, and the time zone in the universe is different than the time zone that you live in 3D third dimension. Remember, this is other dimensions and other galaxies. The time zone is different. So it could take many human lives to give you what you need, because it comes from the universe. And that's how that works. Now, as I hone in and perfect my skills as a metaphysician, I know what my point and purpose is in this lifetime, and this I will bring to the world, which I knew from the day I was born. And with many helps from all the guides in the spirit realm, I get to stay on my path, because this is what I was meant to do. I am a spiritual teacher, spiritual counselor, and spiritual healer. I was born in HEB and am becoming a doctor in Trilogy. HEB, highly enlightened being. A doctor in Trilogy means I have 2 doctorate degrees and I'm working on my 3rd doctorate degree. As I'm going through my third different type of cancer in this lifetime, I took radiation and chemotherapy cancer treatments. I mentioned to the nurse that I could smell the cancer cells burning in my head during treatments. And the mask was from here to here. It's a whole deal. 45 minutes, 5 days a week, for 7 weeks is radiation. The nurse said people that are sensitive and children that have cancer can also smell that. That was another confirmation that I know my purpose in this lifetime. When I was 40 years old, I moved from another state in the southwest of the United States. In the city, the street name, and I'd never been there before, the street name of my job was my last name. One of the schools that I mow with my gig mower has the same name as my first name. The street on the corner that has my last name and my birthday. My birthday is 6663, and 6 means love. The street is 6th Street. Now, on the right side of the human body is male. The energy level is a 3. The left side of the body is female. Energy level is a 6. The whole body of being is a level of 9. These are the vibrational numbers. 6 is love. You have to understand there are 3 different levels of love that you learn and teach in this lifetime. You learn how to teach. So you are learning to teach self, and self is learning to learn self. That's how it works. Now, my destiny has brought me to this time, space, and mass matter in 3D, third dimension, to teach beings to reconnect mind, body, emotion, spirit into one love, self-love. The workshop will be 5 workshops: Metaphysical Healing Art 101 workshop through food nutrition. I have 35 years of research and study in food nutrition. The next workshop will be Metaphysical Healing Art 201 workshop through stretching in the mind, all the way to Metaphysical Healing Art 501 workshop. Workshop 1 relates to the physical body. The second workshop relates to the emotions. The third workshop relates to the brain. The fourth workshop relates to the spirit. The fifth workshop relates to the mind. And the mind is 5D, 5th dimension. My goal has always been the same since the day I was created, rebirthed, and reincarnated in 3D, 3rd dimension. Now it is time to bring some knowledge to human beings. You will learn the 5 W's of your point and purpose in 3D, 3rd dimension. The plan is still being formulated. The plan started when I was 40 years old in this lifetime. The goal since I was 20 years old was home and career. I bought over 5 acres of land in another state in my 20s because I knew I needed a place to live in my 60s. I wanted a government job so I could do what I needed to do in this lifetime. I got the government job when I was 40 years old. At the age of 40, I started a 20-year plan of what my career will be when I retire in my 60s. I am now 60 years old and honing in and perfecting my skills of natural born skills. It is my birthright. I still have 5 years left of working in present job, which then I can retire from present job and be a world traveling metaphysician teaching workshops. Your key point is learning your birth skills. It is your birthright, which then you can learn the 3 levels of love in this lifetime. Birth skills are natural talents. Now, you have different tools of the trade, no matter what you are. You are a priest, a reverend, whatever, of a religious sector, which then, you have your tools. These are called tools of the trade. Now, metaphysics is more elements than most human beings choose to coagulate with. Now, I have cards, tarot cards, I have crystals, I have the runes, I have, in feng shui, all 5 elements in each room of my home, because you want all balance. Now, Gemini is air, so the air signs in feng shui, 5 elements, air, earth, fire, water, wood, is when you understand the designs are geometric. Now, in the geometric designs, which I did in my graph, this is one that I did a long time ago. You have fire, triangle, earth is a square, metal is a circle, water is the waves, and wood is a rectangle. So when you learn how they accumulate with each other, I know that's too far away to see, but anyways, it's a graph. It's a 5-pointed star, pretty much. Now, when you look and understand feng shui with the air element, each element has colors. Earth is like orange, brown, and something else, but each element has its own colors. Now, Gemini is air. Now, the left hemisphere of the brain is multicolored. The right hemisphere of the brain is silver, gray, and white. This is how we see the world because we are dualistic in nature. We use both hemispheres of the brain. Now, in my book, Fractmacology, basically is a story of Shawanisha and her past, present, and future lifetimes. It is a children's literature book. Fractmacology, yeah, that's another one. I put that one on YouTube. I put that one on Amazon, my book, Fractmacology 5-in-1. And it will have different stories, 3 for each book. So this is the first one. Now, in this book, Shawanisha, she has 13 different doors to go through, and each door is 1 year of her life. There are 9 planets, and I eventually will have to get to all the planets. I did all the sketching. I did all the painting with acrylics. And then I put it to music. The music is just like jingles. And when you're watching a movie, you'll hear like the scary parts. Duh, 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 duh. Well, that's what the pictures that I painted are, the pictographs. The music describes the scene or the personality of the character, because this series is Chinese feng shui, animals, and Chinese astrology signs in fractal form. Fractals are mathematical equations, self-similar and self-replicating. I did it all by hand, all right? Now, for the air element, you have mother, father, son, daughter. You've got 4 in each element. There are 5 elements, so you've got 20 characters. You also have to have the good and the bad, and that is karma. You have good and bad self, okay? And the bad is basically the negative, which is your archetype. So you must have both. That's what created you, and that's how you will keep creating you, simply because you have to figure out how you created you in order to move on out of that path into creating a new you. That's how it works. So we have Dad is Baka, metal, mental, air. Now, air is Western astrology, and feng shui, Eastern astrology, is metal, mental. So that's why air is metal, mental, air. This is good guys number 1. You've got Dad, Baka. Metal condensation produces water, and that's how the 5-pointed star is then created, because you have the 5 elements. This is Dad, this is Mom, Subra. Good guys, number 1, mental air. This is Subra. This is dad. This is mom. Then you have son. And the son is Pixia. Okay? And then you have daughter, Azuma. So in each family, you have 4 moms, dad, son, daughter in each element. And you can find my art on artpal.com/unispirical or One Spirical Love. One of the two. I do a lot of stuff. It's hard to remember everything. So anyways, that is the element of air. You have to understand how the elements play a particle in your life. You have yet to figure out how does it relate to you. Like earth is the human body. I mean, I'm grafting all this stuff on graph paper. And it's absolutely so fascinating that the spirit realm chose me. I mean, I'm just one of those lucky kind of people, I suppose. I mean, I'm sure I can't be the only one on earth, but it's really super cool to be able to have this experience of how it is that I'm supposed to create. Remember, God is the creator. I am a creator. And what you create is your world. Now, I pulled out an oracle card and it came up chocolate. That's an aphrodisiac. This is from the Witch's Kitchen. Chocolate, fruit of love, goddess of divine. Sensual pleasures, purely mine. Taste me to arouse desire. My delights will take you higher. This magic is worked with harm to none. So mote it be. There it is done. Chocolate guidance. You've been starved of pleasure, and your need to be desired is reaching its boiling point. Let libido issues be a thing of the past. Explore every sensual area until you are aroused by a lust for life and diverted from an unhealthy lifestyle. For self-indulgence and a lack of resistance invite addiction. See how bad that is? Now carefully peel back my wrapper and inhale the heady delight of my aroma. Allow your taste buds to be tantalized as you become aroused by the erotic stimulant of my ingredient. I am the ultimate love potion. So pop me on your tongue. Allow the power of Aphrodite, the goddess of love, to slide smoothly down your throat. Deeply embrace the warm, stimulative effect of my love and get in the mood as you light a few candles, play some soft music, and indulge your senses to get back your mojo back. Recommended recipe, and they do chocolate face mask, chocolate revealed. Cocoa seeds were seen as a gift from, that's a hard word, whatever, it starts with a Q, the Aztec god of wisdom, so it goes way back. Chocolate was originally served purely as a rather bitter drink to enhance sexual prowess. Sugar was added only after its arrival in Europe. It was an essential ration for U.S. soldiers during the 20th century, providing a taste of home and instantly lifting the spirit. You see, there are different things that help guide you on your mission in life, if you so let it choose. I am Dr. Juanita Lewis, DDIV, PhD, degree in Behavioral Science Anthropology, Certified Reiki Practitioner, Certified Master Life Coach, Certified Small Business Owner, Certified Financial Planner, Cancer Survivor, HEB Doctor in Trilogy. I am Unispirical Muse, a spiritual guide in 3D third dimension. I am all enlightening deities of past, present, future. Life is love, love is life. Blessings from Reverend Dr. Juanita Lewis, DDIV, PhD, and thank you for your support. Blessings to you, and have a beautiful life.